What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Junior. First real face reveal. I know I've been doing a lot of game videos on here, but changing it up on y'all. Hoping to do more in the future, but just want to talk to y'all about Houston Texans football. It took me a couple days to post this. Yeah, I was borderline crashing out after the game, but I'm finally calmed down now. I'm gonna try to stay calm while going over all this and what happened, right? So, Houston Texans lose to New England Patriots in Foxborough. Again, this is the third time in franchise history now that we've lost New England. This time, though, it wasn't to Tom Brady or Bill Belichick. It was to freaking year 2 Drake May and the first year head coach, formerly of the Titans, Mike Vrabel. Let's get into it, man. Stroud, you got to wear this one, bro. That's the worst quarterback performance I've ever seen in a Houston Texans uniform. This loss hurts so much, y'all. For the first time in franchise history, I legitimately thought we had a chance to win in this round of the playoffs. The other times we ran into better teams. We ran into Kansas City last year, ran into the Ravens 2 years ago when they were the number 1 seed. We ran into Tom Brady a couple times there. We ran into, the Ray Lewis and Ed Reed Ravens in 2012. We ran into, a lot of teams that were much better. We had Brian Hoyer one year. We got blown out at home, but we had no business being in the playoffs that year. And then Deshaun's second season as a starter, we ran into Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck was a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson at the time, and that's what makes this so frustrating, that CJ, I don't know what the fuck that was, man. And you know what, let's not even call him CJ no more. I'm gonna call him Coleridge. We single-handedly lost this game because of our quarterback, y'all. I don't get why we didn't bench his ass. He threw 4 interceptions after having a horrible game against Pittsburgh last week. And I'm here thinking, all right, let's go step by step of the game. First quarter, first pick. All right, New England goes up, scores 7, we score 3. He throws a pick. It is what it is. 3 and out. We get the ball back. Throws another pick. Now, at this point, I'm like, all right, I think everybody in Houston, everybody in the state of Texas at this point, right? Everybody in Houston for sure. We're dumbfounded. Why is he still in the game? Why is he still in the game? Why is there such a long leash on this guy? Why do we keep babying him and treating him like he's a made man? After 1 year, we're treating him like he's a made man, and treating him like he's a superstar quarterback. When just last week he did everything in his power to lose the damn game, and his body language coming off in the sun like this. They show him on the bench like this, just looking down like, dude, this is the season, bro. And Demeco, I'm gonna get into Demeco too, but we're 3 years ahead of the Patriots schedule. This is what's going on in my head. 3 years ahead. Right now we're getting outplayed because of the quarterback, really. Defense is keeping us in the game, right? Oh, hold up. Let me get to the worst part. He throws 2 interceptions. I would have already benched him. They decide to keep him in. All right, they keep him in, whatever. He goes out and throws the worst interception I think I've ever seen. It's that one where he's rolling to his left and he's immediately getting blitzed by this 500-pound defensive tackle already in his face, already within arm's reach. And for some reason he decides, instead of throwing shit, you could throw the ball right at his fat ass. You could throw it, spike it down. You could just go down and take the sack. What you can't do is attempt a throw downfield. That's exactly what this dumbass, idiot quarterback did. Not only did he do that, he throws a freaking hot dog. It's like he threw a sausage up. He just threw it up. A wobbler gets caught by Marcus Jones, U of H legend. And house call. Game. At that point, you were up 10-7, then New England takes the lead, and then they never look back. But in my head this whole time, I'm thinking, all right, now he has to come out the game. This is his third pick and 4 drives. He's killing this team. They trot his ass out there again. And he throws another pick before halftime. New England goes on, scores another touchdown, 21-10 at halftime. You got even the announcers, the commentators, and whatnot, everybody except Ryan Clark, saying Demeco Ryans needs to look at him face to face and say, CJ, are you going to be able to finish this game? Or are we going to have to put Davis Mills in here? And that's a serious conversation. I would have benched his ass after the second interception. I'm sorry. This is the season. I find a little disrespectful to Mills. You didn't even consider it. They're talking post-game about, it didn't even go, we didn't even think about putting Davis in because CJ's our guy. Cool, he's our guy, but he doesn't have it today. This is the season. This ain't week 8 against freaking Tennessee. This ain't week 3 against Jacksonville. This ain't week 18 against Indianapolis where you're already in the dance. This is for your season. You lose this, you go home. And there's next year, and there's no promise you have that generational defense next year. And there's no promise that you stay that healthy on defense next year, where both your corners are healthy, your stud safety's healthy. The rookie, Jalen Reed had a great year for us when he was healthy. Jalen Petrie stays healthy for the most part most of the year. Your 2 edge rushers, And then, what is it? Yeah, 2 of your D tackles went out, but luckily this year you had a D tackle room that was 5 deep. So losing 2, you still had 3. There's no guarantee that they stay that healthy, and there's no guarantee we necessarily bring the exact same group of guys back. Now, the core will be there, so the defense will still be good. But the level that they played in, not only that, the schedule they played a really tough schedule. They played everybody real close. This is the first time ever that we haven't gotten blown out the whole year or lost by multiple scores until today, until Sunday at least. The first time in history we've kept every game within 1 score. Even the Seattle game that we're all watching and we seemingly look at it and we're like, man, we got blown out. I go back and look, we lost by 8. And we had the ball multiple times in Seattle's territory to tie the game, and we couldn't get it done because the defense was so dominant. Defense scored like 10 of our points that game. I think we lost like 27-19. So they kind of did the same thing today, except you got an even worse performance from your quarterback and offense. But this game reminded me exactly of the Seattle game, and this is why I'm fully all out on CJ. He can't play against good teams on the road. Let me repeat that. He can't play against good teams on the road. We saw it his rookie year in Baltimore. I don't care about what he did against Cincinnati. Cincinnati ended that year like 8-9 or some shit. I don't care what he did against Cincinnati, against Jacksonville, against Tennessee, against all these teams. He plays Jacksonville multiple times, Tennessee multiple times. And they both was trash that year. I don't care. Go look at what he did against Baltimore. He didn't score a single offensive touchdown. He couldn't even move the ball on Baltimore. Look at his second year when we went to Green Bay. A field goal fest. A field goal fest we should have won because the defense is so dominant. But we've been asking so much out of this defense for 2 years now that they're allowed to make a mistake from time to time, allowed to, let up a play time to time. The offense needs to make a play from time to time. They just never do. And Green Bay game, the Minnesota game, we got embarrassed. Obviously, Baltimore at home, we got embarrassed. Kansas City twice last year. We got swept twice in Arrowhead last year. You know, you just go down freaking New York on Halloween when it's raining. Against the fucking Jets, he can't perform. It just seems like anytime there's bad weather, either it's bad weather and it's a mediocre or trash team and he plays not well, or it's a good team and he just plays trash on the road. He just can't get it done on the road. And that's the signs of a quarterback that's just not that's not a franchise quarterback. It's a bridge the gap quarterback. There's a difference. Because if you remember, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but you remember when we had Deshaun, we go to Arrowhead, he would perform. 3-4 touchdowns. He'd go and perform. He went back home to Atlanta, 5 touchdowns, 4 incompletions. I mean, these big-time games. His rookie season against KC, 5 touchdowns. Legion of Boom his rookie year, 4 or 5 touchdowns. That's what a franchise quarterback does. You know what I'm saying? He performs. He exceeds expectations when the lights are brightest. Yeah, we gave up a 24-point lead to Kansas City that we should have never even had. This ain't even comparable to that. There was a muff punt that led to a inside their 10 that we scored a touchdown on, a block punt for a touchdown that we scored on, and the second or third play of the game was a busted coverage, scored a touchdown and a field goal. We lost that lead by halftime. We were up 24-0 in the first quarter. We lost that lead by halftime. We're down 28-24. It was a complete fluke lead, and anyone watching that game knew we were just Bill O'Brien helped that team fall apart so quickly, but that team was not going to sustain that lead. That secondary, that defense, our pass rush back then was not good. It was our pass rush was average, and our secondary was trash. We had Lonnie Johnson and Kevin Johnson back there. Trash. 2 busts. Trash. That lead was not going to sustain. So when people said 24-point lead, I saw that shit coming. I saw us blowing that lead. When I saw the Kansas City fans leaving, it's because they had lost like the last, I don't know how many playoff games there. They had only won one of 9 of the last playoff games there. So they were like, oh, this is bad juju for them. So they were leaving. I was like, they're going to come back on our ass. And they did. They scored 49, what was it, 42 unanswered or 49 unanswered, some shit like that. We'll go back and look at that. Deshaun had 400 yards of offense, 3 or 4 touchdowns. You would have told me that. I would, that it's not like he went out there and lost you the game. The defense couldn't stop the fucking nosebleed. So that's what makes this game different. When you go into this game, you think you got a better team. You think you got a better coach. I was wrong there. I think we all are. And you know what? It's time we talk about that too. But I'll get into that in a bit. You know, you're going into it, that's what makes it upsetting. And you're at halftime, you're thinking these things. You're like, dude, snap out of it. You're not snapping out of it. You threw 4 picks. I'm putting Mills in there, man. At this point, it's our season. You don't have it today. You still look rattled. Your body language, you got your head down. You're not, nobody can't tell you nothing because we don't got no leaders on this offense. Our offensive coordinator's a bitch. We ain't going to say shit either. So we're going to put Davis Mills in and see what he can give us. And if Davis Mills doesn't give us anything, at least we went down swinging. We didn't just go down watching you. Third quarter, fourth quarter, nothing really happens. We get a couple field goals here and there. Woody Marks fumbles. No, it is what it is. Lose 28-16. At the end of the day, in my opinion, let's split the blame, right? I'm going to start off with the way the offensive line performed. Really reminded me of how they performed against Seattle, that offensive line. They looked a little bit overwhelmed. I mean, they played better than they did in Seattle. They looked a little overwhelmed, especially towards the end. They looked tired, they looked gassed, but we had injuries, right? Whatever. Injuries happen, but you still got to be able to put up a fight. They couldn't really get anything going in the running game. They couldn't get any push downfield. It is what it is. New England's got a very, very quietly elite defense. The running backs, tight ends, receivers, the skill position groups, right? Dropping passes, Hutchinson dropping passes, Kirk killing drives initially, right? I'm not like it would have mattered because the quarterback was just not there today, or on Sunday. He wasn't there, right? Not like it would have mattered if you caught those couple of ones that you dropped. None of those picks are really on y'all. People are saying it went through Hutch's hands. You got Xavier Hutchinson, who's 6'3", 6'4", going like this, fully extended, and CJ is hitting his fingertips. He's hitting his fucking fingertips and is getting picked off. How can I really blame Hutchinson when Hutchinson's open and you can hit he's 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", and you're making him do all this? It hits off his fingertips. Should he have caught it? Sure. But at the same time, he's open. Hit him in stride. Hit him. Even throw it behind him. Dirt it. But the number one rule, when you throw over the middle, you can't throw it high because it deflects and there's a bunch of people. There's 2 safeties back there. You know, like, I can't even put that pick on him. I can't really make too much of the drops because the quarterback was dog shit. Woody Marks fumble, that was a killer. That was really a killer because we're driving, come out of half, score 3 points. Will gets the strip sack. We get the ball back inside their 30. 3 or 4 plays later, whenever it happened, he fumbles. When that happened, I was kind of like, you know what? It's just not the Texans' day today. I mean, this quarterback completely killed the entire offense's confidence. And you could tell. That's why the receivers was dropping the ball. They're running kind of half-ass routes. Because CJ came out with zero kind of energy or dog in him that he claims. Where's this top 5 quarterback, CJ, that you claimed you was your rookie year? Where's that guy that was telling Caleb Williams, who, by the way, led a comeback in the wild card, who, by the way, led a game-tying drive in the divisional, didn't lose by double digits like yo ass does every year? Where was that guy at? That's right. He wasn't there because he's not really actually there. Right? Once they got a little bit of film on you, you didn't have a last place schedule, and you started playing the good teams, more good teams, you started getting exposed, bro. Been 2 years now. But at the end of the day, I give him 20% of the blame. The skill position group, 20% of the blame. And the line, as a collective unit, right? The skill position and line, 20% of the blame. You can't fumble. You can't drop those balls. You can't, the first drive of the game, kill them when you already got a quarterback with low confidence. The rest of the blame goes to CJ and Demeco Ryans. I think I've touched plenty on CJ. I'm out on him. His mentality, the moment he's down a receiver, the moment he's down any kind of protection on offensive line, he crumbles. And it's almost like he falls and drowns. It's like he doesn't even try to save himself and try to get a last gasp of air and try to get to the surface and save the game and nothing. No. But it makes no sense because he tries to play like that. He tries to play like he can put on that cape and be that guy, but he's not. So he's a very... I'm starting to believe those Wonderlic scores, man. He might just not be the sharpest knife in the fucking... You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking about so... But... You know, it's just... You can't convince me he's our franchise quarterback. He's not. He's not. We're having serious discussions about drafting a guy or bringing a veteran guy to give him some kind of competition. It is what it is, unfortunately. I know a lot of you love CJ. It is what it is. I'm sorry. That's inexcusable in year 3. You know, you were like, this your rookie year, riding a high. They got film on you. You had a sophomore slump. Everyone's thinking it's just a sophomore slump. But you stagnated. You stayed at this level. And it looks like you're going this level slightly downward. And the other 40%. Now let's talk about Demeco Ryans, man. I might be out on him. And I know for a lot of y'all it might sound crazy. Man, we were trash before. Man, you know, we was winning 3-4 games the season before he came. It's the season before he came. He came, we got 10 wins, playoff, 10 wins, playoff, 12 wins, matched a franchise record, playoffs. All that shit's cute and dandy. The way I look at it is we did have some young talent before he came on. We drafted really well. So that just wasn't him. That was also Caserio, the front office, drafting players while he's been here. We got Kalen while he was here. We picked up Aziz while he was here. We picked up Mario Edwards, Danico Autry, Togia. We picked up all these guys, Daniil Hunter, while he was already here. That's the front office, right? He does play a role in that, but the front office brought those guys in. The front office drafted Kalen. The front office drafted Kamari, right? Derek Stingley was already here. Nico Collins was already here. Half of the offensive line, all these high draft picks we wasted on the offensive line, they were already here, right? Titus Howard was already here, right? Blake Fisher was already here. All these guys were already here that had this talent coming out of college. These, like I said, these high draft picks was already here before Demeco got here. The year before Demeco got here, we gave the freaking Super Bowl champion Chiefs that year everything they could ask for. We literally took them to the wire, to overtime. We were just tanking. I'm glad we lost those games, but you know, it's not like we were just straight up super trash like we were in the Cully year. In the Cully year, we weren't quite that bad. We had brought in some talent. Pichu was also here too. All right, but and what a player he's developed into. But you have all these pieces, and I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I just think that this is his ceiling. What do we want as Texans fans? We want to reach an AFC championship game. We want to go to the Super Bowl. We want the NFL to respect us. Or do you want to continue to be the only franchise to never appear in a conference title game ever in your history? It's year 24 now. We shit on the Jags all the time because we got this cute little winning record against them. They reached the conference title game in year 2, and they almost won it. And they, not too long ago, in 2017, they had a defense that wasn't even anywhere near as good as the one we got right now, with Blake fucking Bortles to the AFC Championship game. And you know what's the craziest part about it? They should have beat New England, and that wasn't year 2 Drake May New England. That was prime Tom Brady New England. That's what's disgusting about this. Is that CJ couldn't even play at a Blake Bortles level, because they should have won that game. I remember Miles Jack returned a fumble for Jacksonville. They should have won it. That should have won them the game. They called it back. They said he was done. He wasn't actually, or they said it wasn't even a fumble. It was a fumble. And Patriots ended up winning that game on that drive. On that very drive. And yet we're over here losing by 12 with a better defense, because he can't even play at a Blake Bortles level. And the coach doesn't have the backbone and the balls to pull him when he's clearly unraveling and clearly just literally piss running down his legs. Like just completely shell-shocked and completely just encompassed and engulfed by the moment and the bright lights and the crowd in Foxborough and the weather. Everything is getting to him, and you can tell. And why every time this quarterback's on the sideline, I know nobody on the offense is going to tell him shit because the offense is shit. But why isn't Demeco the head fucking coach? You're not a defensive coordinator, bruh. If the offense is falling apart, you got to do something about it. You got to be yelling at people. You got to be saying, give me that call sheet. What are we fucking doing here? But no, for 3 years straight, you've allowed this shit to go on with 2 different offensive coordinators. You've allowed this shit to go on where you clearly see the ship is sinking and sinking, and you're just okay with watching it fucking sink. You're okay with keeping CJ in there after throwing 2 picks. After 1 pick, cool, I get it. After 2, take his ass out after that game he had against Pittsburgh. But no, you're over here, you believe all the shit that CJ and Kaylee and all these offensive players say. Oh yeah, we won the game. CJ's saying, yeah, I played bad, but we ended up winning the game. I made some plays. Bruh, you had a shit game against Pittsburgh, and then you're over there taunting fans after the game like you had a freaking Tom Brady kind of performance. When you played like fucking trash. You were trash, man. Straight trash. And you over there talking shit to the fans. You over there saying, taking no accountability. And this has been going on all season, by the way. He said, oh, yeah, we looked pretty bad there. We had some dull moments, but, we ended up making some plays. I made some plays, and, it's okay because we won. Motherfucker, we won because the defense is so dominant and they're holding teams to 16 points a game. All you got to do is go out there and score a touchdown, a couple field goals, and they'll probably get a score themselves. I think they scored the most defensive touchdowns in the league this year. And Demeco was just watching it sink and sink and sink. After interception 2, he's got to be out of there. Out of it. This is the season, Demeco. Just like last year, you're watching Bobby do this dumb shit in the first half. We can't move the ball. We can't sustain drives. We're somehow outgaining Kansas City, but we can't sustain drives in the first half. And we can't score points because we're doing dumb shit when we get to their side of the field. Last year, you should have pulled that play calling sheet from Bobby Slowick and done something about it. But I get it. It is what it is. This year, you should have learned your lesson from last year. And you should have learned your lesson from the Pittsburgh game. Because we shouldn't have won 30-6. That score was misleading. We won that game more like 10-6. Your defense scored twice. Don't forget that your defense scored half those points themselves. And then put the offense in a position to score a touchdown themselves. So really, they scored 20 of them points. That's why I'm saying 10-6 is really what the score was. But it goes back to just watching it sink. Last week, you watched it sink. Luckily, your defense made some plays, and Pittsburgh was trash. Worst team in the playoffs. Just like always. We always play the worst team in the fucking playoffs. Look like world beaters. Then we play the big boys, the top seeds, the top dogs in the conference, and we get fucking smacked. We got smacked on Sunday. Yeah, we should have won with mediocre, but we lost by 12. We lost by 2 touchdowns. It's the same shit. And he's watching it sink. Coming out of halftime, he's got 4 picks. He still trots CJ out there. CJ's got nothing. We get a field goal. We fumble. 3 and out. He's still keeping CJ in there. There's no kind of life in the offense. We punt with 5 minutes left. And 1 timeout. Oh, and I'll get into the timeouts too. And you trot CJ out there again after that when you get the ball back with less than 2 minutes. It's just inexcusable coaching, and this is why I say Vrabel coach circles around him. And let's get to the time management, right? So not pulling CJ, letting your season go to waste, watching it go to waste, is why I'm just starting to notice a pattern with him, and there's a ceiling to him. He's not going to get involved in the offense. You need a coach that's going to be involved everywhere. That's not afraid to make these tough decisions. That's not trying to be everybody's friend. They're not trying to make everybody happy all the time. That's not who Demeco is. He's a great defensive coordinator. He's never going to be a Super Bowl winning coach. He's just not. You got to be a cutthroat coach. Look at all the Super Bowl champion coaches. They're all cutthroat. They're involved everywhere. If somebody's underperforming, give me that play call sheet. I'm an offensive coordinator. I don't give a fuck. Give me that defensive play call sheet. I'm taking over. You can sit your ass down. Dan Campbell, don't tell me he can't because he's the defensive coach. Dan Campbell did it for Detroit. Dan Campbell took over play calling. Damn near got him in the playoffs. They went from having a stagnant offense to scoring like 30 points a game when he started doing that. It gave them life. It showed everybody, hey, we need discipline. There's order. We are a serious program here, which the Texans clearly are not. By the way Demeco operates. It's just not who he is, not his nature to upset people. You know, it just makes no sense to me. Now we get into the whole clock management, right? This is why punting on 4th and 16 and trotting CJ back out there after that really pissed me off. Because I thought, okay, you're gonna put Mills in at least give Mills the respect to at least get some snaps in this game, and maybe, who knows? You've seen crazier things happen, right? First drive coming out of half, we're burning a timeout. Demeco, we haven't gotten anything going on offense at all. We have a quarterback that's thrown 4 picks. What is a delay a game going to cost us? This is something that goes back to you're not taking what the defense is giving you, which is the whole message of this offense. You're not taking what the defense is giving you, and you're trying to overcompensate for incompetence. This offense, really CJ, since his rookie year, has struggled getting the plays off in time, struggled controlling the huddle, struggled controlling the offense and operating the offense. Since his rookie year, hasn't gotten better. It has not gotten better. It's been the same shit. And then we burn these timeouts. Why are we burning timeouts when we're down 2 scores in the 3rd quarter? That is a no-no. Anybody at home is just like, why would just take the flag at this point? Just take the flag, punt. Like, the defense is balling. Like it just makes no sense. Like, burning the first one, whatever. You burn another one doing the same shit. This is why both of them, CJ, why can't you get the playoff? And Demeco, why are you calling that timeout? Let him get the fucking flag. Let him get the flag, and then when we punt on 4th and forever, when you're on the sideline, you're over there next to him coaching his ass up. You're not off worried about the defense. You're coaching his ass up. You don't even call the defense no more. Instead, you're just there just doing that. Just doing that. What's that going to do? What's that going to teach CJ? What's that? You got a young, struggling quarterback. You think he's the guy. Why aren't you over there coaching him up? Lighting a fire in his ass. Putting Nils in there is going to light a fire in his ass. It's just, the more I think about it, it's just as much on Demeco, if not more. He's a real ceiling to this team. And I just want all the Texans fans to know that. You know, because I see a lot of people dogpiling on CJ, which they should. I see a lot of people dogpiling on the offensive line, especially the interior, which they should. Demeco got to wear this one too. Demeco let the opportunity of a lifetime go. This is, I guarantee you, we ain't ever going to have in this Mahomes and Allen and Burrow and all these great quarterbacks in this era of great quarterbacks in our conference that we're going to have to face every year. There's not going to be another opportunity like now where there's a backup waiting in the championship game. No Mahomes, no Allen, no Lamar, no Burrow. A year 2 Drake May, he's only going to get better. He might win MVP in year 2. So a year 2 Drake May, who has a little bit of the fumbleitis and a little bit of the, he's still learning how to take care of the ball. A New England team that ain't beat nobody, ain't played nobody all fucking year. And you got a generational defense. I said one of the top 5 or 10 best defenses of all time. You can scratch that. If you can't get past the divisional, ain't nobody going to remember that. But Texans fans will remember that because it's our team. People ain't ever going to hold us in that kind of regard. No way, no how, no chance in hell. You got to get to a championship game at least, or you got to get to a Super Bowl to even be thought of. Even the ones that lose the Super Bowls don't get really the recognition they deserve and are forgotten. You got to win it. Seattle had a number 1 defense 2 other times other than the time that they won the Super Bowl. But they talk about the 13 Seahawks, even though those other 2 defenses were better. They talk about the 2015 no-fly zone Broncos. They were number 1 defense a year after that as well. They talk about the Ravens before they even got Ed Reed, because they won it all. They talk about the 85 Bears because they won it all. And Steel Curtain back in the 70s, they won it all multiple times. So you can throw that shit out the window, Demeco. There ain't really much to hang your hat on now. You got to wear this one, and because you, just like CJ, you haven't grown as a coach. You haven't. You really haven't. We still start off slow. Last year we started off 5-1, but the offense looked funky, and we had an easier schedule. We started off slow as rookie year, losing record, 500 until later in the year. We started off 0-3 this year because of coaching, because of the quarterback play, because of the offense, and it all reared its ugly head on Sunday. I just want Demeco to get some kind of blame here too. We can't have a head coach that wants to operate like a defensive coordinator that's not even calling plays. We need a head coach that's going to get in there and make those tough decisions in game. We need a head coach that's not just a yes guy to ownership and just motivating and a smiley face. That's all good and dandy. He's a great guy. He is. I like Demeco a lot. He's a great person. He's a great player for us. He's not a great head coach. He's a mediocre to good head coach. The same shit the Texans have had their whole existence. When they had Kubiak, mediocre. When they had Bill O'Brien, mediocre. Bad division. Same shit here. Yeah, Jacksonville was good this year, but they were one and done. And we didn't even win the division this year. So, I mean, it's just, it's frustrating. It's annoying, but we got to call a spade, man. That's pretty much it. Just wanted to share my thoughts, and tell you what was up. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, keep posting more. Obviously, Texas content next year. I'm not looking forward to 7 coming back, and I'm gonna tell you something. They're gonna give him that 2013 Matt Schaub treatment in NRG, and we might eventually. We got to play a week 1 home game. We haven't done it since CJ's been the quarterback. We've been on the road the whole time. Excuse me. We're on the road. His rookie year in Baltimore. On the road to Indy year 2, and we're on the road to LA this year. At some point, I would hope the NFL will give us a week 1 home game, and I think the script writers will cook a little bit with knowing how the fan base feels right now about CJ. He's gonna have such a short leash. If he fucks up at all in that game, they're gonna boo his ass off the field. Y'all know it too. They're gonna boo his ass off the field because nobody want him. I see on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, I see people all over Houston. I got homeboys telling me, take my CJ Stroud. I don't want that shit. I don't want my CJ Stroud jersey. You ain't gonna see any 7 jerseys. None. It's gonna be nothing but 51s, 12s, 24s, 4s, 2s, 0s. Those are the jerseys you're gonna see. Those are the jerseys you're going to see. And if we draft a skill position guy in the first round or another, I don't think we would, but another edge rusher at certain positions, you're going to see a lot of them jerseys in the crowd. You will not see that many 7s in the crowd, I guarantee you. People are embarrassed to wear that. People are embarrassed to be associated with that right now and leading into next year. That's going to carry over. He ain't going to have a long leash. And you know what? You know how this team is. When those fans get upset and they stop showing up because of a certain player or a coach, he ends up getting benched or canned, getting the fuck out of there. You know what I'm saying? So he got a target on his back, and the season ain't even started. But like I said, I'm gonna drop more Texans videos, content, whatever. Obviously, as you can see, I'm a big Rockets fan. Drop some Rockets stuff too. A little upset at them right now. Ime doing some dumb shit with his rotations, but it is what it is. But it's frustrating. Just another disaster, another frustrating loss, and it hurts because this is a football city, it's a football state. I've been alive for the 2 Rockets one. I mean, for the 2 Astros ones. I heard about how crazy it was with the back-to-back with the Rockets. Neither one of those 2, y'all thought that was crazy. If the Texans even managed to make a Super Bowl, it's a wrap. It's a wrap in Houston. Y'all thought them festivals was something? It's a wrap if they managed to make, and they squandered it. So the window's closing. I don't think we're going to get it done with this head coach, and definitely not this quarterback. So we'll see. We need to bring a veteran guy in, at the very least, to give CJ competition and a voice in his ear like, hey, slow down, calm down, and someone to turn to in those situations when we're on the road and he can't control himself, because he's CJ. Stroud, Coleridge, Bernard can't control himself in these tough games, tough environments, in bad weather. That's why he never beat Michigan in college, because it was bad weather. They were just as good as him. They had just as much talent. He wasn't Northwestern in the cold. Yeah, bah, bah, bah. Indiana in the cold, pa, pa, pa. What about Michigan? What about Michigan? And Jim Harbaugh and all them boys and all them 5-star recruits they got over there? What about them? What about going to Ann Arbor? What about in the shoebox when they came and beat your ass? Nah, but it's okay because he'll throw all these touchdowns against Michigan State, and he'll throw all these. It's the same shit in college he's doing here. He's a front runner. He's a front runner. And whenever he gets smacked in the mouth, he ain't got no response. He ain't got no response. He got a paper chin. The opposite of what the defense does. The defense smacks the shit out of you, say, what you gonna do about it? And they smack your ass again. This guy, he ain't like that. He ain't no 10 toes down like he said rookie year. He ain't none of that. That was all a facade. That was all a facade. And y'all fell for it. But I told y'all, I didn't tell y'all, but I told my family, I told my homeboys, I said, I got real questions about him coming into year 3 from what I saw year 2. And it reared its ugly head. And I just want y'all to wake up. I want the fan base to wake up to this quarterback and to this coach. We ain't going to do shit with them two. We need to get rid of their ass. If I was the owner, I'd get rid of their ass. That's all I got to say. Y'all have a good night. Go Texans. Hopefully, we wake our ass up out of this nightmare.